Well, I love that. Welcome to the Rouxgaroux Live podcast, and I am Curt Schwager. Welcome in my co-host, Brian Matherin, and we are going to have a wonderful
Hey, Kurt.
episode today. How you doing, Brian?
All
Glad to
right,
have
and you?
you here.
All right, Kurt. How are you?
Good. We're going to got a good game tonight between the Dallas Falcons and Shreveport Rouxgaroux.
Yeah, makeup game for the Carolina Cobras that was supposed to take place tonight, and we played them already once this season in the preseason.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. At least, hopefully, the Rouxgaroux will get a win. I'm praying. Hope nothing happens, backfires on them.
Well, it is guaranteed by Coach Russ, so I mean, anybody who purchases a ticket between Wednesday at noon and Friday at noon, uh, if we lose, they will get a free ticket to the May 31st game in versus Beaumont.
He actually guaranteed it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we are Dallas isn't part of the NAL. They're a semi-pro football team, so that's why they're one level below the NAL team. So they're considered semi-pro. So we should beat them.
Yeah, he played pretty good. I mean, they played pretty good when he played the Rougarou the last time. I remember.
Yeah, yeah. That was that preseason game. We did dominate them though. By the end, and they started running the clock extra quickly. At the very end, just to get the game over with.
Yep. Well, let's check the schedule out for here, Brian, a little bit.
All right.
Who's playing tonight? Uh, Here's the schedule for this week's games matchups. Week 11, you got the Spartans and the Idaho, Lions and Beaumont. Saturday.
Of course, that Colorado Idaho game, that was a blowout. Colorado just manhandled Idaho in that game.
I couldn't believe that. I thought for sure Idaho was going to take that game.
No, I mean they haven't showed any fight all year, so I wasn't surprised at that one. But that Beaumont Columbus game, that's going to be a very interesting game.
I'm definitely going to check that game out. But of course, we're going to be watching this one. Shreveport Rouxgaroux and the Dallas Falcons, man. We'll be looking forward to that one tonight.
Of course, the Beaumont game overlaps our game, so you have to do a split screen.
Oh, I hate that, but we got to do it. And then you got the Saturday, May 17th, tonight. You got the Bandits, Sioux City Bandits, and the Wheeling Miners.
And that one overlaps our game also, so you got three of them simultaneously.
Might have to go back later and watch them later so you don't get any overlapping crap stuff. Like, I hate that when that does happen like that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Everybody wants those Saturday night games so then they can get the crowds in,
Yeah, yep.
Over the years, they found that Saturday night is prime time for indoor football. So,
yeah, they seem to do better on a Saturday night for some weird reason.
Yeah.
How do you think the Wheeling Miners got a chance of getting the playoffs or what? I can't remember. What's their record?
Probably not, because I want to say the team that holds the second place is Columbus. So you're going to have Beaumont and Columbus on the American side. And as far as the national side, you're looking at Omaha and Colorado right now because they both have 6 wins.
So if the playoffs started right now, we'll be looking at the Beaumont Renegades, Omaha Beef, Sioux City Bandits, right?
Beaumont Columbus and Omaha Colorado.
All right. Sounds cool, man.
Yeah, but Columbus is 3-3. We're 2-4, and Wheeling is 2-5.
We're 2-4. I thought we were 2-3.
Because we never been we never got the forfeit win. So technically 3-4, but we lost to Columbus, remember? We lost to the Lions at the Lions. We lost to Beaumont. We lost to Idaho at Idaho, and then we lost to Omaha. So that's the 4 losses that we have.
But they never credited the other win there, did they?
No.
That win. How come?
League Dragon. I don't know if they just want to play it out as is and not award any of them, you know.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about with the Rouxgaroux now. All their games almost were swiped away. I mean, the preseason, the first and second week of the season, I like going back watching them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially the minors game. That game meant a lot to me because you were at it, and they actually won. We talked about them winning. It was just a good, meaningful game. It was something to keep in your memory and, you know, keep looking back on because I thought it was really cool. But when I couldn't find them, I said, oh, that pissed me off a little bit. But
yeah, ever since they lost the YouTube channel, I guess the league is, you know, I'm hoping that they still have them archived somewhere where they can still upload it during the off season. But right now they started with like week 6 or 7 whenever they switched to that new channel, and just those games are posted and hosted on YouTube currently.
I hope so, man. I hope to see. I would like to see their channel, like, you know, with categories, you know, interviews and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they would give interviews with the players and coaches and stuff like that. And you have the national and what is it, national and American, right?
Yes. Divisions. Yes.
Both divisions. You know, you have your divisions separated, and then you have interviews over here and maybe some player features or something like that on their YouTube channel. It's pretty bare bones.
Would be nice, but, you know, that might be something that the league would have to look at next year and improve upon.
I think that's what they'll do. You know, that at the end of this season, you know, they're going to go back through things, analyze things, check out the channels, check out the teams, and they'll be going back through everything, you know, making things better next year. I thought it will be better.
A lot of it too was the commissioner was changed at the last minute right before the season started, because it was this Todd. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I never could pronounce his last name.
But now it's Brandon Ickard. Is the current Ickard? Yeah.
I like Ickard there. Now the other guy, I was watching him on Inside the Walls podcast. Ickard. I watched him on Inside the Walls. They were talking about the Right Now deal that happened earlier this year on there.
Yeah.
And I liked him. He actually sounded like a pretty good commissioner. I liked him. The other guy, what was it? Todd something?
Todd, and then it starts with a W. I'm looking at his signature on the footballs, because every NAL football still has him signed on there as the commissioner, but the switch was made so close to the beginning of the season that they didn't reissue new footballs. So Goat Sports, I did contact them about that. They did say that if they doing they're not even sure, but if they're doing championship game balls, they'll have Brandon's signature on it. But they had started to run with the team logos on the NFL footballs so long ago that it still had Todd's name on them.
Well, geez, I like that Ickard there. I kind of like him. Brandon Ickard, is it?
Yes, Brandon.
Good interview with him on Inside the Walls. I like Inside the Walls, but the only thing I don't care for, they're too favorable to the Omaha Beef and the Wheeling Miners. And you know what I mean? Everybody else, they do talk about other teams in the league, but it seems to be the prevalent teams that they talk about is the Omaha Beef and the Wheeling Miners. That pisses me off. Brian, that gets me pissed off.
I'll take the fifth on that one.
I know you would. I figured you would. You're going to take the fifth. I figured you would.
I don't think my opinion wouldn't be nice on this channel. So
I know, it does piss you off. I wouldn't grumble
yes.
or bitch on this channel, but behind the scenes, Brian, I have bitched a little bit.
Well,
Too much grumbled to myself. I haven't bitched out loud or anywhere, but I grumbled
two
to myself about it. You know what I mean?
what was it? 2 weeks ago when we had the game, the Beaumont game. Um, the league had posted pictures around the league pictures, of all the different games and the action shots. They had a good 20, 25 pictures on that one post, not a single one of Shreveport.
Yeah. What is
And I
up?
called them out.
What
Well,
they
it goes
say?
back to the what you just said about the podcast, the favoritism.
Oh yeah, yep. I see it.
Yeah.
And it makes me, because I was really, when you're getting in, you're into a team, you like it, they're your team. You want to see a team or a player featured, or a player's doing well, and you want to see him featured, or you want to hear about him. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
Yep.
only heard one Inside the Walls episode where they did on the Rouxgaroux, which it was a good show. I watched it; it was really good, but I wish they would have did a little bit more on Shreveport. That would have been nice.
Yeah, and then our coaches show they do it in a restaurant, and it's kind of hard to hear the coaches every time that they do it on. They record it on Wednesday, and then they upload it. I don't know if they've done any recently, but yeah, I was watching the coaches shows, but it's so hard to hear them over all the other noise going on in the restaurant.
Excuse me, Brian. Yeah, I watched a few of them coaches shows, and it is hard when they have it right there in the restaurant because you cannot hear. It's pretty
Yeah,
loud. You're trying to hear facts, players, numbers, names, and you can't hear it. You know what I mean? It's really not
right.
cool. But I liked it. I watch it. I'll have a beer and watch it sometime. Join
Yeah,
you guys with a beer.
at least they're trying. So
Yeah, that's all you can do is if you're putting 150% effort in there. That's all. People will see it. People will see it. It might take time for it to get noticed and see, but it will get noticed. But this, Brian, we got to do something with this graphic. I love this graphic. This
there
reminds
you
me
go.
of you all the way. I'm thinking, doing
You should have
some kind of yeah. I'm
you
gonna do a
should have
trailer
started
with it.
off. Yeah, start off the podcast every time with that one.
I think I
That'd
will
be
do that.
cool.
I'll do some kind of a trailer with it. Work on that one for a little bit. It'll be pretty cool.
Howl at the moon.
Yeah, it's like our counterpart. Then I have to
Yeah,
do get a picture of me and you as we are as humans, and try to have this, to begin the podcast and then end it with this one or something. If the Rouxgaroux's winning, this will be us laughing
there you go. Yep.
or something. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love it.
And then the other ones in the background too. The other wolves, howling
Yeah,
in the background.
yeah, it's cool. And this one's got a. They actually must be pretty sophisticated or pretty smart. This one's got a light with them and
Yeah,
pretty
I like the one.
awesome.
I like me with the chain. I got the chain that I wore at the Beaumont game.
Yeah, got the chain around your neck and you got the
Yeah.
little belt. It's awesome. We're laughing. Rouxgaroux winning. Well, like I said, Brian, the Rouxgaroux will do better next year. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I got to check these now. What graphics are these, Brian? These are the
All right.
2024, 25.
Yeah, that was Wednesday night's transactions in the league. Of course, we cut two players down there at the bottom, the Damian Francis and Gary Brown, both released. We picked up James Doer
Yeah, yeah.
as a linebacker, and the top one, our franchise player, traded to Beaumont for future considerations, Denarius Antoine.
Wow. I didn't think I'd see him go.
Yeah. So then 24 hours later, Shreveport trades Ridley to Beaumont.
Yeah, another one, Ridley Scott, man.
Yep.
That's
So
unbelievable.
back to back. So we lost 2 key people on our team,
Yeah.
which we should still do good tonight, but it's going to hurt for that Omaha game on the 24th, and then especially when we have to face Beaumont in the last game when they got to come back to the Wolf Den.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make it rough towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
Them guys were good. Daenerys Antoine was all over the freaking place.
Right.
He was a good player, and Ridley Scott. He's another good player. And if them two guys went to the Beaumont Renegades, I put my bet on the Beaumont Renegades winning the championship.
Yeah, they they definitely the favorites now.
Yeah, because like I said, I won't go with the Omaha Beef, even if I don't care for the Omaha Beef. I'm sorry, and it's nothing personal. I just don't care for the Omaha Beef.
Yeah.
I really don't care for the Beaumont Renegades, but if our Rouxgaroux is not going to be in the playoffs, then I'll, a couple of our players are with them. I'll probably have to go with the Beaumont Renegades towards the end of the season.
Yeah, they were an expansion team just like us, but I don't know what they had in the water down there in Beaumont, but they definitely knew how to, go undefeated. That's for sure.
Yeah, they did a good job for the first year, team. I can't believe that. Well, I think they were Rouxgaroux too, like we were talking on that Beaumont game here a few weeks ago. There was some suspicious plays there that I think if they could have won that game, if them calls weren't made, because like we were talking, I know it's the past, I shouldn't keep bringing it up, but that one play where they said it was
Fumble.
and it wasn't what they called it a fumble instead of an incomplete pass, which
Right.
that changed the whole direction of that game.
Well, not only that, but the last play, of course, with the 2 seconds left, where Beaumont player bounced off the wall. Those 2 key things that happened in that game would have not happened or been turned around, in our favor. Then who knows where we'd be sitting now? We'd have that win over Beaumont. Probably both of those players would stay. We'd be in better shape.
From what I seen from that play though that we're talking about, where he bounced off the pads of the wall there, I thought he was out right there, and I thought he was out right there. I don't know. I probably could have been wrong, but it looked like he was out.
Traditionally, I mean, in outdoor football, you run out of bounds, you're out, but in indoor football, the walls are live. So you can, if you're not forced out into the wall, then you're more than free to bounce off the wall, untouched.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. Was he wasn't forced into the wall, where neither one of our players touched him. So he wasn't out, and he was alert enough to turn around and keep running and knew the rules. And it would have been amazing if our players would have tackled him on the 1 yard line right before scoring. Then the clock would have ran out, and then the game would have been over, and we wouldn't have lost our quarterback on the last play, Serrano.
Yeah. Well, if you were looking at it from when they did the review or they did the replay, from looking at it, you couldn't see over by that wall where it was. You couldn't see if he was shoved out into the wall or if he bounced off the wall.
He was doing a cross. He was doing a cross pattern, and the defender was yards off of him. So it was like a zone defense, So it wasn't man to man, and he was going across the field, and he literally just the momentum took him into the wall. And like I said, both of our players just stood there and didn't even put a hand out to touch him or anything like that, because they just assumed, he ran out of bounds, so he was giving himself up. If he would have dropped the ball over the wall, that's what's considered, giving yourself up, and then the clock stops because that's like running out of bounds. But since he was smart enough and realized what had happened, that's why he turned around and ran it in.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about this game tonight a little bit, Brian. Tonight, I'm going to put the graphic for tonight's game, but tonight, what are your thoughts? What do you think the score? What's your predictions on the score? What do you think?
Roux by 25.
Roux by 25?
Yes.
All right. All right. I'm going to go out on the limb. You said the Roux by 25. All right.
Yes.
I'm going to go the Roux by 40.
Damn.
I know that's up there. But I'm telling you, I got a weird feeling about tonight.
I was expecting you to go less than me, not more.
As far high as I can go, though. But it's going to be high scoring, I'm pretty sure. But
I mean, they're gonna allow Dallas to score a couple of touchdowns because every one of these Falcon games they do tend to score 12 or 18 points, so they get 2 to 3 touchdowns, each game. So it's just a matter of when we take the foot off the pedal and just coast to the end of the game to get the victory. And to go back to the point where you were saying that we weren't awarded the forfeits from Carolina games, this is the reason why, is because the league wants you to play a game. So this is a makeup game for one of the 2 Carolina games. You play the game, you're gonna get the W. In other words, we'll get the W tonight once we win. If we didn't have this scheduled, we'd still stay at 2 and 4.
Yeah, well, there would be no movement. You just stay right there where you're at.
Yeah, because this league is not awarding forfeits for some reason. So it is what it is.
All right, Brian. Here's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be 40, 19.
Okay, so that's only 21 point spread, though.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a little bit high to go 35-40. So I kind of dropped it down a little bit.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. You got to watch them Falcons. They might have, they're going to try. It might be like a trap game trying to defeat them,
I mean, I like the 55-12,
Yeah, I like the idea of that. Or even 55-15.
Yeah. Well, I give the Falcons at least 2 touchdowns, if not 3,
Yeah.
55-12, 55-18,
I don't know if it's real. You got to watch it. We don't want to talk too much there. We might just surprise our butts.
I think Tyrone Washington takes it all in good strides, so he'll probably watch this after the game.
That was that one video we played last week of that Tyrone Washington, right?
Yes, number 10 on Dallas.
Yeah, we should try to get him on. That's what I wanted to talk to you about too. I was going to talk to you. We got to do a collectible show and a voodoo show.
Oh, okay.
We'll do good. Yeah, just everything Louisiana voodoo. Then we'll do a collectible show. Like somehow to set it up where we have tables and we can show collectibles one piece, talk about each piece at a time, and talk about the history of it, where it's from. It's interesting. Might take a couple hours. You know what I mean? It might take us a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours.
Well, the Louisiana voodoo, I got like one bucket I'm looking at right now. One bucket, and I got a box of clothes and stuff, and then other stuff scattered throughout my bedroom here. But and I got a flag that that's the same size as this one with the voodoo logo. But I'd have to pull it all out and go through it, and we can cover piece by piece.
That'd be awesome. The dates of them, the times, and who it is, and this and that. That would be awesome. We have to do that and do just a total voodoo, Louisiana, or voodoo, something. Call it something. The voodoo.
Well, my fan club was called the Voodoo Magic, which is still live and active. Because keeping hope alive for next year.
It might happen. You don't know. It might happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping so.
So
A lot.
I never shut down the fan club, but you know, we were talking off air. I just ran across the Voodoo, the Louisiana Voodoo and / the Voodoo Magic bumper stickers. I just came across the other day while I was mailing out something to you, and so that's I just stumbled across those recently that were supposed to be giveaways in the fan club, but never transpired.
I'm going to show them on the show next week. I want to talk about this game next week. And who are they playing the next game?
Next Saturday is at Omaha, your favorite team, at 6:30.
Beautiful.
30 minutes sooner, so 6:30 instead of 7 o'clock. They're our time, you know. So,
well, Brian, I'm telling you right now, I'll be watching that game, but I do not like the Omaha beef. Oh, don't like them.
How you like your beef? Medium rare or well done?
Just totally with a steak. Yeah. Burnt to a crisp.
Yeah, there you go.
Burnt to a crisp. I don't like them. I don't even like the guys who cover them. I shouldn't say that. Forgive me. Forgive me, Brian. I shouldn't.
It's all right. They're an opponent. They're supposed to be hated. You got to take it in stride.
Exactly. Yeah.
Beaumont doesn't like us, so you know why should we like anybody?
I know it. They're pretty nasty to that game.
I think Columbus is the nicest, though.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna get my butt around. I've got to watch the games tonight a little bit, and I love this episode. It's good. Like I said, I want to do something with this for next week. I will have a trailer or something done for this. I like it, Brian. All right.
Yeah, needs some music, needs some animation, you know.
I'll do it. I'm working on it. Take me a little bit. I got to find the right royalty-free music and stuff.
There you go.
All right, Brian, I'm going to let you go, my friend.
All right, 90 minutes to kick off.
Yep, I know. I'm going to get my butt around and get my snacks, my chips, and get ready to watch the game.
All right, go Roux.
Go Roux. Love you, Brian. I'll see you next week.
All right, later.